Hey guys, Marsing here bringing you a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and so today we're going to jump into the seriously serious event with the new stage versus Kid Goku to get the missions done. We're going to go through all the missions in this video. I'm sure a bunch of you guys probably jumped in and just did the mission or did the stage straight away with any team, your best team, so that you can get that one clear. Beating it with any team is the mission that gives you the 2 sets of tickets to summon on the Tau banner, but we're going to go through and do the other ones here as well. So we're going to start off with the use a unit of each extreme typing. So we're going to use Glorio's team, because although Glorio is a superclass unit, we've got Tech Janemba, Physical Janemba, INT Buhan, and then STR Cell and AGL Cell. So we have one extreme unit of each typing, and then Glorio is the spare. So we're going to jump in. This is actually my first run on the stage. I figured in terms of getting this video recorded, we might as well start off with the missions, and then I'll get my tickets in the process. So yeah, we'll see how we go. So similarly to the previous stage, it is only one phase. So I imagine he has a decent amount of HP. I can get the stats up and have a look actually. So yeah, he's got 400 million HP. So pretty decent amount. Go ahead and do that. So at least we've got one Glorio in slot 3, and there's no attacks in slot 1, so that worked out relatively well. So the things to know about this guy is he can't be stunned, can't be sealed. He can be defense lowered, and it says starting from it grants immunity to being stunned starting from the 3rd turn. So you can stun him in the first 2 turns. So you can't attack lower, you can defense lower, you can't seal, and you can stun him for the first 2 turns. On the 3rd turn, he gets 100% extra attack. Is it for the 1 turn? Attack 100% on the 3rd turn. No, so that's permanent. So from turn 3 onwards, he gets 100% attack buff. And then he gets 30% defense with each turn passed, starting from the 3rd turn up to 150%. So he gets a lot of buffs on turn 3. The other interesting thing is, similarly to some events that we've seen in the past, including like Beast Gohan in the Festival of Battles, he has a scripted like attack pattern in terms of where he's going to super. So it seems like his first super attack is always his 8th attack. So I'm just trying to count the number of attacks here on the screen, right? But he should be supering in slot 3 against Glorio, which hopefully Glorio will dodge. He raises defense on super. He only does 840k. Now obviously bear in mind from the 3rd turn onwards he gets that 100% attack. So from turn 3 onwards he's actually doing 1.6 million. But at least in this early turn, the Glorio friend should potentially just tank the super if he doesn't dodge it. But yeah, we'll rely on our boy from the Demon Realm to get the dodge. Tanks the normals for double digits, so that's fine. So we had Cell on the 1st turn, didn't we? So we need to float off the STR Cell here, which is fine. So we already have our Janemba and Buhan rotation set up, so that's good. So we'll do this, and then how many orbs can we get for Buhan? Only 6. Not a crazy amount, but we got the 3 rainbow orbs, and then we'll grab those for you. Domain's up for Cell now. Obviously that doesn't really do much aside from buffing the 2 cells, but we'll take it. That means Tech Janemba was our slot 7 character, so he will be able to come in on turn 3 and be a slot 1. He hasn't taken any hits, so he hasn't lost any of his damage reduction, so that works out quite nicely. Now the strange thing is, so Goku's 8th action is a super, and then his next one isn't the 16th one like you'd think, so it's not every 8 attacks. I'm looking at the list here on the stats on Dokkan Info, and apparently the next one is his 19th attack. Now you can, if you, with this information, obviously like count the attacks on the screen and know exactly where that's going to be at all times, but clearly we have not done that. So yeah, Buhan taking double digits after supering. I wonder how he would tank that once it's doing double the damage. Either way, we should be good. I mean, him being physical means that Cell should be fine. Obviously we do have Cell's revive should it be necessary. I figured that Goku would be physical, right? Because we talked about the missions in the data download video that I did, and one of the missions is to beat it with a full INT team. So not really surprising that he's physical. That's why he gives you a full INT team mission. So that mission obviously will be part of this video as well. Haven't yet decided what team that's going to be. So if you're at this early part of the video, before we get to the INT mission, which will be in here, let me know what team you're thinking of using. And then, yeah, we'll get to that mission here soon, and we'll see what we can do. But AGL cell transforming into second form cell. Yeah, I guess we'll keep, because I want to float Janemba eventually, but because obviously he can provide some support. But for now, since we don't really want to put AGL cell in slot 1, go ahead and do this. So Goku now has his 100% extra attack buff. He can no longer be stunned. Not that that was really a huge issue for our team. No stunners on the team anyway. Janemba with the clutch dodge against the super. Let's go. And then a 9mm. Was that 9mm? So yeah, decent way through his HP considering we're on what, turn 3, about a third of the way through, and that's without having like our rotation set up correctly. So we should be good here. Cell obviously going to be able to do a pretty decent bit of damage. Once we get the 2 cells together, then we're going to be looking pretty good. Oh yeah, AGL cell doing some big damage here. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of options for the extreme setup. If you wanted to, you know, obviously get your tickets first, do your summons. If you did pull Tau, that should be quite an interesting team. You know, even without Glorio, there's various builds of his team where we just end up using him as the leader, like a full team of Boos for Margin Power, Lord Slug with a Demonic Power team, obviously with Lord Slug having type advantage, would still be very good in this event as well. Probably could even, because the difficulty level of the Seriously Serious event isn't that high, right? Like even with Goku having his attack bonus, doing 1.6 million damage super is nothing compared to the tough bosses we have in the game. So maybe even full Extreme Heroes team, but bit more difficult considering the you have to run a unit of each typing. Trying to think who the best Extreme STR. Because Heart's pretty easy, I don't know. Maybe I'll try that as a video or just a fun run on an upcoming stream. So keep an eye out for that. So you don't need any key. So we'll just go ahead and do this. I mean, I feel like we're going to win in the next like 2 turns or something anyway, right? So we might as well just use Glorio's active skill. Because it does a bit of extra damage. Action breaks the attack in slot 1. Not that, you know, Janemba necessarily needs the extra help or anything, but might as well do it. And then we'll grab that for you. So unable to attack due to fear. Right, so Janemba, 18 key, nice crit. And what we're looking at for Buhan, we've got 7 orbs, we've got double Glorio support in action now, 31 mil, yeah. That's the problem of having double Glorio on the first turn, is it takes a couple of turns to get around into the setup where both Glorios are now floating and have their support active. But yeah, Buhan's still able to bring a serious amount of damage to the table. But yeah, with a weaker team, I think it's one of those things where you probably should like keep an eye on the attacks, like count the attacks so you know where the supers and everything are going to be. It only lists up to action 22, so I'm assuming at that point it just restarts again. So it's action number 8 is a super, action 19. But yeah, that's something that you could keep track of if you're using a slightly weaker team potentially. But Glorio, as long as he gets multiple attacks and obviously he gets multiple supers in those attacks, builds up quite a lot of raw defense alongside his dodge chance, so he should be fine. Okay, so now we get Perfect Cell out. I mean, really, nothing can go wrong on this turn, because we're going to put STR Cell in slot 1. So even if he got slot 1 supered and it did kill him, despite the type advantage and all the support and everything, he's just going to revive. Plus he has his active skill, which I guess we might as well just use, because then that gives him a buff. So he's at what now? Yeah, he's got a lot of defense here, start of turn. So pretty sure Goku is not really able to do anything to us now, and we can go ahead and do this, get our support, and then let's see. Okay, he is going to super, so yeah, 69k. Basically nothing. And then Cell with the 18 mil. My Cell has 1 dupe, so But yeah, nice crit. I mean, Cell can get multiple attacks off in the turn. And then we have AGL Cell to go next. So, I mean, literally 0 chance that Goku survives this turn. And it's possible Cell just clutches it out here. Yeah, so you can get quite a few attacks off. 20 mil on the third super of the turn here. Is that going to be enough? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so there you go. That is our all extreme types mission done. Like I said, that's also my first clear, so we can go ahead and grab our tickets. I'm going to be recording these in like parts because I wanted to get my tickets and then I'm going to record my summons because, as I talked about in the summon or skip video, the Tau banner, it should be a huge skip for basically everyone. So yeah, clearing the stage once is also part of the own stages mission. So done that, get 3 stones, and then if we go back to our actual missions, because these are part of like the EX missions, right? So mission A, which is just beat the stage, gives you the 14 stones. Then we've got 2 of the missions completed, B and C. I wish they would actually put them in the description, but B was all the extreme typings, which we did, and then C is within 5 turns. So there you go, we got the extreme mission and the 5 turns one done at the same time. The 5 turns one, I wasn't going to do a separate like section of this video for that unless it was really difficult, but you know, if we did it with our all extreme types team, if you jump in with whatever you think is your best team with like the 10th anniversary LRs and stuff like that, you're probably easily going to do this in 5 turns. So let me know how you got on down below. But yeah, so next we're going to go ahead and try the 6 INT types, so we will jump into that now. Okay, so next we're going to jump in and do the Sworn Enemies team mission. So I'm going to do this with the Boo team with INT Fat Boo. I know not everyone's going to have Tech Buhan. Potentially didn't summon him when he came out. Obviously he's on Tao's banner, but you shouldn't summon on Tao's banner. I don't think he's necessarily worth getting with red coins either, so not using him in the video. Fat Boo has been on a lot more banners, including some of the bigger like banners that potentially people will have summoned on. I know not everyone's necessarily going to have him either, so I guess you could just use INT Boo tanks like as the leader. But either way, this is what we're running. This is what we're rocking with here. So let's see how we get on. I mean, this shouldn't be too difficult. Like the event difficulty, as we already know, is not like super high. And this team works very well together. Obviously, Kid Boo, very strong. So many attacks in slot 1. Kid Boo's going to basically have his lose all his damage reduction and get his active skill like by the next turn. But he's got type advantage. This Goku doesn't hit hard enough really for that to be a huge issue for this Kid Boo. Plus with the amount of damage that we could potentially do like with the team as we get going, it's not really going to matter all that much. So we'll see how we get on. Obviously I think INT Buhan is going to end up being one of the units that probably gets used the most, considering all the different missions that this event has and how many of the team builds that we've done where we use Buhan. But obviously he's just very good here. Like he eats this for double-digit damage, and then obviously we start stacking with the physical Boo tanks. Oh yeah, the other one's in slot 7. So actually, yeah, flowing him off was actually what I should have done. For that reason, that the other one's in slot 7, and I didn't even realise. So there you go. Could make the optimal plays in my sleep, apparently. Alright, so decent damage straight away here for the first turn. Couple of attacks off from you, and then we move on here. I mean, we could potentially just get the revive for Fat Boo here straight away, so we might as well just do this. Grab these for you, grab these for you. Super Boo obviously could be a bit of a liability because this isn't one of the enemies where he gets his guaranteed guard, so there is obviously the possibility that he could take a bit of damage. But you can see like in Fat Boo, even pre-super on his first turn, like not really taking significant damage from this Goku. Obviously if we can have him die early on to get the revive, which gives him of course not only the instant access to his active skill, but gives him those extra buffs and the extra attack, which would obviously be quite helpful. But either way we should be good. Tech Exchange Boo, obviously post attacking, still pretty decent defensively. We're not yet on turn 3 where Kid Goku gets the extra 100% attack either, so it's not really anything we need to worry about too much here. But yeah, because I think he will be supering Tech Exchange Boo, right? Yeah. 51 damage, yeah, okay. We take that. And then 12 mil. I mean, 12 mil for Super Boo without being hit first, considering how old he is. And yeah, he got the stun. Of course, starting from turn 3, he's immune to being stunned, so I'm assuming that just means he becomes instantly unstunned, but that's pretty funny. Yeah, so he's not stunned anymore, but that's fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and, yeah, pop your active skill here. So what is he looking like now? He's already at 800k defense. He still has, what, 20% damage reduction, and then per Majin Buu ally on the team. Yeah, so he's still got 50% damage reduction. He's received his 6 attacks, but Kid Goku actually can't do damage to him because we have type advantage as well. So with how much Kid Goku does with his super and the amount of defense that he has plus the like damage reduction, annoyingly we can't get a lot of orbs for Buuhan. Not a lot of rainbow orbs either, so potentially not going to get any crits here. But yeah, let's see. We should be taking... Oh, well, there you go. There you go. He actually just can negate his super attack anyway. So yeah, Kid Buu definitely very good for this. And then up to 20 mil here. Obviously, Kid Buu builds up by attacking, so the more we attack, the more damage we can do. He builds up even with the normals, which is good. But obviously, 1 super, 1 normal is not really the turn that we want from Kid Buu here, but it is what it is. Buuhan still getting the crit is good. Obviously, Buuhan gets a guaranteed additional. Nice, double crits. Because we only got 1 rainbow orbs. I mean, he only has like a, what, 30, is it 30 or 33% chance to crit. So, didn't crit on the Ghost Kamehameha, but we'll take the triple super turn with 2 of them being crits for sure. Because, yeah, we're doing a very decent amount of damage here. And then no crits from you, but they, of course, yeah, crit on the additional normal. Okay. Got the guard. Alright, so yeah, things are looking pretty solid here. Exchange Buu, going to transform into Evil Buu. And then still going to put Int Fat Buu in slot 1. We can't die, right? Even if he gets supered, we'll just revive. So we'll do that. Neither of these guys care about orbs. And then we can give all the physical orbs to you. Probably, I guess, maybe transform Buuhan on the next turn. Yeah, 500k from the super. But I mean, the team has enough HP. Even taking 75 from that follow-up normal, now that he's done his super, he's not going to take any damage. And he can never double super in 1 turn, I think, right? Because, yeah, he doesn't have his max super attacks per turn isn't even listed as 1, because he just has the specifically planned, like, where he supers. So he can't super twice in 1 turn. But yeah, it's kind of annoying that Buu didn't die to the super or follow-up normal, so that we could just get the revive and get that buff. But yeah, either way, we should be fine. He only raises defense on super, so it's not like we need to worry about like a surprise normal later in the turn dealing too much damage. So yeah, we should be all good here. Especially obviously if Buutengs just gets his guard as well, like he can't take damage anyway. But yeah, get these additionals off. Some crits would be nice, but there you go, thank you. There's another super as well. Because obviously no, Buutengs doesn't have big bad bosses. I mean, Exchange Buu doesn't have it either, right? So he wouldn't have it active this turn regardless. Next turn, however, oh, we have Super Buu. And Super Buu stunned on that previous turn, so he didn't even get hit. So Super Buu hasn't actually taken any damage. I was going to say, are we actually going to get the incredibly rare Super Buu active skill? Let's go. Don't get to see this very often. So crits gets an action break. So let's do that. There we go. 11 orbs, and it's going to be a guaranteed crit because of the rainbows that we got. So this will be a good turn. Big Bad Boss is active for Kid Buu and Buuhan. Kid Buu gonna negate the super. Yep. Nice. And of course, you know, it went straight back up to full HP as well. 30 million attack for Kid Buu. If there was ever going to be a turn where Kid Buu does multiple additional super attacks, this would be a good one for it. Or, you know, you could just do an additional normal again. Okay. 39 point, basically 40 million for Buu. That's what we like to see with the crits. Come on, triple super turn. Ghost Kamehameha maybe? Ah, well. Big damage, that's what we like to see. And then Super Buu again, 14 mil. Not too bad. Obviously can't stun anymore. Still took 160. Yeah, that was without the guard. Yeah, proc 168k. But then, of course, at the start of the next turn, we're just on full HP again. So go ahead and transform into Buuhan. Let's do this. Again, we're not really in danger of dying in slot 1, and then everybody post-supering should tank fine regardless. So, because Buu has more defense than he had the previous turn, yeah, so he takes less damage this time. And there's no follow-up normal attack, so yeah, we're all good here. The Buu team just always has been so good for the fact that it has so much healing. Like, if they can't kill you in one turn, you're basically back up to full HP again, like the next turn, right? So, very, very good. I mean, Sworn Enemies has some other options, right? Like all the cells, the freezers, but I think the Buu team is definitely still a very, very strong way to go for this, right? And we can see here, even with the attack that did connect with Evil Buu, just takes double-digit damage, and then Buuhan. Obviously, physical Buuhan is much stronger on his next turn because he keeps all the buffs from his attacks on the first turn, and of course no Big Bad Boss is active here either, so Buuhan not looking super crazy on this turn, but we're definitely in a good spot here because now we can just transform the other Buuhan on this next rotation, and we've got an all Big Bad Bosses monster of a turn. So yeah, so go ahead and transform you. Get those for you. Those for you. And those for you. So there you go. I would imagine this should be all she wrote for Kid Goku for this turn. Another super going to get negated. Yep, let's go. Kid Buu, the slot 1 MVP versus this Goku. 30 million again. I think that is his ceiling now, right? Without any extra like support or anything. So, man, has Kid Buu actually done any like double super turns? There we go. And he just needed calling out. Alright, so hit him with the super. Decent damage. Buu should get crits because we got, well, he's got like a 99% chance to crit, right? So, should come in clutch. Ghost Kamehameha for 41 million. And of course he survives with the tiniest sliver of health, but there's the additional normal to finish him off. So there you go. That's the Sworn Enemies one done. I don't think this one will be too tricky as long as you can run the Buu team. If you have Tech Buuhan, obviously you can use him. I don't think there's anyone else necessarily who's like a major recommendation to be on the team. But yeah, not too bad for the Sworn Enemies run with the Buu team. Using the second Buuhan like the Buu tank's friend rather than another INT Buu, just because he can do that little bit more damage. So there you go, that's the Sworn Enemies mission done. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we are going to do the Earthlings mission. So you've got to use 6 Earthlings characters. We're going to use a DB Saga team because then of course we're able to use the Kid Goku friend, because obviously Kid Goku is, the friend does not count for the mission. So we can get a 220 lead, and he leads obviously DB Saga or Earthbred Fighters, but all the characters are DB Saga anyway, so that should make things a little bit easier. Using Bulma as the lead, obviously we can't use Kid Goku as the lead. Of course, if you pulled Mercenary Tao, like you could use him as a leader, the team wouldn't be like, I guess, necessarily massively different, but okay, so we got an interesting setup because Bulma's going to get supered. So it's going to basically all depend on whether she gets her RNG, like damage reduction or not, essentially. But I guess we've got to see how it goes. Earthlings doesn't have, like, in terms of building a cohesive team, Earthlings doesn't have a ton of, like, really, really good, really strong, like, massive damage dealer characters. I mean, Yamcha, the LR Yamcha and Poir EZA can hit some pretty decent attack stats, but we are kind of going to be relying on, like, the AGL Kid Goku, maybe Bulma, like STR Bulma, and then, like, Yamcha and Poir in terms of the units that can actually do some decent damage. But, you know, we'll see how we get on. It's probably going to be one of the missions that is maybe takes a little bit longer, outside of course, maybe the INT one if you're getting really unlucky with crits. But, you know, we'll see how we go. Yamcha getting a 20 mil attack stat here. But, I mean, you can see, like, in comparison to some of the other stronger teams we've used, like, having a full first turn and getting no, like, not doing a full health bar is... apparent that we're going to be in for a bit of a longer ride for this one, but oh man, I really want the Bulma support, so let's do that. And there we go. And we can get the Bulma support and her extra attack as well, because we really are going to need it. But yeah, stunning Goku in the first turn is pretty helpful as well, because he'll be unstunned, like he can't be stunned from turn 3 onwards, but having him get stunned here is pretty good. And then yeah, the more attacks Kid Goku does here in the first turn, the better, because then obviously the more stacks we get. His crit thing has procced, so all of his attacks now should be crits for the rest of the turn. So it gets a good couple of supers off. This STR Yamcha, for a free-to-play unit, like he's a pretty decent support for the DB Saga team. Obviously he's not going to be doing anything too crazy, but he's certainly a useful enough addition. But yeah, you can see at least from the start here, like 2 turns to do a full bar of damage. But as we start stacking up, like obviously it's going to be getting better as we go. So do this. I probably want the Chi-Chi to be with Kid Goku, really. So let's do that and do that. And yeah, take Bulma, we just need like the RNG of her getting her damage reduction, especially if she's going to get supered. I mean, if she just dodges everything as well, like, I mean, I'll take that, but... Because yeah, the Tech Bulma's on the team because like the floating Yamcha really wants to be on rotation with a Peppy Gal's character. And so, that, to be fair, was before I put Mai on the team. But we just need to make sure there's always a Peppy Gal's character on rotation. Mai is not really a like crazy top tier unit for the team, but... Pulled a couple of dupes for her. I mean, the Battlefield Diva link gives Ki as well as extra dodge chance. So basically all of the female characters on the team, if they're next to another one, they get extra dodge chance. So that helps them out a little bit defensively. But as you can see from the numbers that we're doing, right? Like I say, Kid Goku and then maybe Yamcha and Poir are going to be the 2 units that deal the most damage. Obviously we will have the Bulma active skill turn at some point as well. But yeah, we're obviously not going to go super quickly through this, but the team should be fine in terms of survivability as well. I mean, I say that, Chi-Chi taking 30k from a normal probably means that if she's the one that eats the super, that would be really bad for us. So, I think we probably just go ahead and... do the active skill with Goku straight away, just get that extra buff and just start, because rather than worry about the heal, just get the extra buff and start doing more damage as quickly as we can. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. It's going to get supered straight away, double digit damage, because of course that, not only is he stacking, but that 200% defense on receiving a hit is obviously incredibly powerful. And then, yeah, we just start getting these additionals off. So, Rainbow, Goku Friend, there's the crit. And the super. Yeah, there we go. Up to 19.5. So, yeah, slowly but surely this will, the process will accelerate as Kid Goku starts to build up, right? And just does more and more damage each turn. So, and, you know, 20 mil from Yamcha's not bad. And the additional 11 as well. Pretty good. for a free-to-play character. I mean, it doesn't have a huge effect overall, but the defense lowering, the fact he can be defense lowered, is, you know, a little bit extra. It doesn't make a huge amount of difference. It's not like you're suddenly doing, like, double the damage or anything, but still pretty helpful. Ooh, the archer taking actual damage from normals. Okay. Not ideal, but it is what it is. So yeah, we'll keep Bulma on this rotation now, I think. So then we can get our orbs. Get these. Although actually, no, see, I should have thought about it. We probably want Bulma floated off, because Bulma on that turn with Kid Goku being able to do the big active skill buff turn is probably what we want. Well, I guess we'll see how we go. Bulma taking some actual big damage from the super. She builds up damage reduction as the turns pass, so we're still early on in the event. What we really need is on the Kid Goku turns, we need there to be like AGL orbs that he can just grab and then get the give us basically like a full heal off of a small amount of orbs, because he's going to have a lot of defense being a stacker. But yeah, mine not really doing a huge amount of damage. I didn't have this unit at all until we got to, was it like the anniversary, like the free banner that we were getting the free tickets for like throughout the anniversary, and ended up pulling like 3 copies of her or something. So, I mean, she's got a decent dodge chance, so like she's solid enough defensively. But, I mean, this Bulma could be a liability if her thing doesn't proc, but it did, so it's fine. Right, so what are you up to currently? 739k. So when he gets hit, he actually has like 2.1 million defense, right? So he can't take damage here. So we'll do that. Do that. And then I guess do that. Try and get back as much HP as we can. Get 9 damage. And then we're at 31 million. Obviously, he's getting a lot of support from Chi-Chi now as well. So, this is where we really want the... this is where, like, the 4 super turn would come in clutch, because we've had the crit thing proc straight away as well. So, every attack is going to be a crit. 3 supers and a normal. I mean, I'll take that. Like, oh, and then we got another one as well. Well, there you go. Oh, because once he's done a certain amount of attacks, he gets the extra as well, right? So yeah, that's pretty good. So I think next turn is when we can use the Bulma active skill. So we should be looking pretty good on the next turn as well. Obviously, it's not going to be crazy damage, because no one on the next turn is really like a particularly hard hitter, but they're all going to get the active skill buff from Bulma. 22 million from Yamcha here as well. But yeah, you can see like when Kid Goku's numbers really start to pick up, like the ridiculous amount of damage that he then does. So it's slow going at the start, but then it picks up quite significantly. So now we can do this, which we will go ahead and do straight away. Grab all the orbs for you. So now even if she gets supered in slot 1, she should just eat it. And of course we go up to full HP as well. Do this and do this. So if we do get another turn after this, there'll be a bunch of AGL orbs there for Kid Goku as well. The fact that on the active skill turn she still actually doesn't take double-digit damage just kind of shows how Bulma has fallen off a little bit. I mean, to be fair as well, you got to remember for this team build, we've only got a 150 leader skill from using LR Bulma as the leader, so everybody on the team is obviously hitting a little bit lower than they would if we were running like a proper, if we were running double Kid Goku, right? Because he's got the 220 lead. So double Goku would be like, what, an extra 70% from the extra lead rather than her being 150. So that would obviously be, probably would be done by now, but that's alright. The buff for this turn from everybody from the active skill means that Bulma ate the super. Everybody else does a little bit of extra damage, but is essentially just going to be sort of guaranteed to survive the turn. And then on the next turn, Kid Goku should just absolutely go crazy on this guy, right? Double super from Yamcha. Hey, we'll take a little bit. It's a 9 million, but we'll take a little bit of extra damage, you know? And then even he only takes double digits on this turn with all the buffs. I think doesn't Mai give support as well, so... And then, yeah, Kid Goku should be... What's he at now? Yeah, he's at 1 million defense. So when he gets hit, he has 3 million defense. And remember that even with the 100% buff, this Goku only hits for like 1.6 million. So go ahead and do this. Eat these attacks in slot 1 for breakfast. 64, 12, 21. Well, it was a good try, but 34 million attack stat, the unit super with Bulma. You get the crit, so should be the crit proc for the turn. Because that's the thing, once it procs from his passive, every attack would be a crit. But the confusing thing is it could not proc from his passive, but proc from his hidden potential, if they've given him crit in the hidden potential. And so then the next attack could not be a crit, because the passive part didn't actually proc the first time. But there you go. That not to worry in for this turn. He gets the full crits, so Goku finishes him off. I think that's definitely the easiest way to do it, right? Because Earthlings doesn't have the best setup. So just by making a DB Saga team and using the Kid Goku, I mean, if we really looked back and kind of analysed, like Kid Goku probably did, what, over half of the entire boss's HP by himself. So that's the mission done. 6 Earthlings characters. And yeah, there we go. Let me know how you guys got on. What team did you use for your Earthlings team? Let me know down below in the comment section. Okay, so lastly we have the full INT team mission. Now this one is going to be interesting because to do this mission you have to beat the event in 8 turns as well as having the full INT team. So we can actually use a Daima Vegeta lead because everybody on this team build is on transformation boost. And then he gives his extra to Power Beyond Super Saiyan, which is just him and the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But at least that gives us a little bit of an extra buff. Because yeah, the challenge of this event is twofold, right? The fact that your full team is INT means your entire team has type disadvantage. So not only are you potentially at risk more so from like receiving the enemy attacks, but you've also got to remember that you are I want you to get hit 5 times like as quickly as possible. Yeah, you've also got to remember that you're basically needing to do crits if you want to do damage. So, oh man, there's a bad setup for this turn for Janemba, unfortunately. But yeah, full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku obviously is a unit that is a little bit dicey these days. But if we can get him 5 hits here, he's being attacked 5 times in slot 1. So as long as he dodges at least one, doesn't dodge at least one of these, I may have jinxed it now. Because we all know every time you use in Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I love the memes of like people leaving him at 99%, right? So they don't have to give him the level 5 dodge. But yeah, like the number of times I'll use this guy and like he'll dodge 1. There'll be like 5 attacks and he'll dodge 1 with that level 5 dodge. So fortunately that was not the case here, right? So it means we can put him in his standby straight away in his next turn, which is what we want, because we want to be able to transform into full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because he gets guaranteed crits after he transforms, right? So that's going to be the important thing. Buhan, obviously if we get enough rainbow orbs, does crits. If we can get Fat Boo to die and revive relatively early, then obviously he gets the extra attacks. I don't think he gets any extra crit chance, but he can get an extra super as well as having slightly higher stats, which at least means when he does crit, he'll be getting that extra damage. It's just something that we have to be mindful of, because we've only got 8 turns. I think I did have one attempt at this before without realising that the mission said 8 turns. And I think I beat it on like, it was either turn 9 or 10, and then was very confused why the mission completion thing didn't proc. So you've really got to try and make sure like you're always getting at least the 3 rainbow orbs for Buhan, because he obviously can do some big attack stats, and any turns where he's not getting a crit is going to be, you know, turns where you're just missing out on a huge amount of damage, which is not what we want. Buhan post Superic obviously can tank Kid Goku perfectly fine. Daima Goku, mine has, I want to say 3 dupes, but obviously he starts off with fairly low numbers. So obviously he's not going to do really any damage in this first turn if he's not getting crits. Yeah, 1 additional normal, okay. Alright, well at least Frieza on this turn, when he has a full superclass rotation, gets guaranteed crits. So we're unfortunately not going to get a lot of damage out on this turn though, because obviously the standby for Oob doesn't actually attack. So we're kind of, it's a bit of a gamble, because we're like sacrificing a turn where we'd have a character do damage, so that we can then get the full power Goku out, which should make all the difference, right? Vegeta getting hit with the super here is really good, because it means he gets the full passive activated and gets all of his additional attacks. He doesn't have type disadvantage, so whilst we would still obviously prefer the friend to actually get crits, if he doesn't crit, at least he's still doing some damage here. Still not a crazy amount though. Now, good thing for this rotation as well, Frieza having the full superclass, I think I did just say that, but full superclass ally rotation for Frieza means that he gets guaranteed crits. So at least there's that, right? And then Vegeta, you know, he's getting a fair few attacks off here. At least there's a crit. So we've got a couple of bars down, but this is turn 3. I mean, it's going to make a big difference, obviously, when full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku comes out. He gets guaranteed crits for those first couple of turns. So hopefully he's going to be able to hit big. And that should make a difference. Frieza maybe can make a bit of a dent here if he gets the couple of additionals as well. Because, yeah, 16 mil with a crit. I mean, even then it's not a huge amount. But nice. We'll take that though. Triple super turn, that's what, almost a full bar from Frieza for this turn. Not quite, but we take those. Right, so Janemba. So yeah, this is a bad setup for Buhan, because there's no... Yeah, there's no way to set up the orbs so that he could get multiple rainbow orbs. So him potentially not critting on this turn, it's going to be bad for us, but we'll see what happens. I mean, we're on turn 4, so we are basically halfway through, and we have not done half of his health. So, but that's where we need the things to ramp up with full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who is also stronger on his second appearance, right? So we've got 2 turns of him where hopefully he can do some big damage. Janemba getting a crit there is obviously very helpful as well. Buhan with the Ghost Kamehameha. Nice, because I mean, he can still get a crit. Like, one rainbow orb is still giving him the 33% crit chance, but yeah, it's not always going to come through. But still did some okay damage here. Fat Boo. Additional normal, really not what we want. Come on, bro. If you're going to additional normal, at least crit. Come on. Alright, so full power Goku, we've got the Daima boys. So we've got the active skill for Vegeta as well. So let's go ahead and transform with Goku. Kind of risky to put him in slot 1, I guess. Like, Vegeta also kind of wants to be in slot 1, but use the active skill for Vegeta. Get some extra damage in wherever we can, basically. Having the 2 Daima boys together with the links and everything is good as well. So let's do this. And then, yeah, let's see how we go. So Goku gonna get super attacked straight away. Great. 192k. Okay, he's fine. So 15.7. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, like, we don't have Saiyan Raw or anything for anyone on this team. But oh, he didn't do an additional or anything either. Wow. That was my my big hope, that he was going to be able to do a load of damage for us here. And unfortunately not. Vegeta at 20 mil. We're going to cut this so close as well. And of course, they made it so that this event, you can't use items or support memories. So you can't just throw on like a bunch of the attack up items, which I think would be beneficial. You could put on the orb, like the INT orb change and attack up item as well. But yeah, of course, you can't use any items or support memories here. Really, really wish Kid Goku would actually get additional supers, because each of his super attacks gives everybody else a buff. But obviously we're just not getting that, so grab these. Oh man, there's so many orbs, but yeah, you can only get 2 rainbows. I mean, that's still a decent crit chance. I guess we just do this as well. Get his, do the active skill that actually does damage. Which did a crit, but I mean, he's on half health and we're on turn 6. So yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll have to keep Frieza out because Goku doesn't really do a lot of damage. Frieza with the extreme allies is obviously not going to get guaranteed crits, but he does get an extra additional super. So he's going to super multiple times. So if he could at least get a crit, that would be nice. Janemba being able to do so as well here would be helpful. Because that's the thing, a lot of this is going to come down to RNG. Like if you do this run, you might get lucky and in this turn, rather than two supers that didn't crit and then an additional normal, he just does 3 supers for you that all crit. And then obviously that's going to make a massive difference in beating this within the turn limit. Same thing with like Buhan, whether he gets the Ghost Kamehameha, then he gets a guaranteed additional super, but does he get the 3rd one? Which here he does, so that's good. And he crit on all 3. So we've got the next, we have to win on this next rotation. So I guess as long as we get enough Rainbow Orbs for Buhan, and we do a decent amount of damage in this next upcoming turn, then I think we should be good. Frieza getting the crit there is obviously really big as well. And again, he might actually be able to, if he finishes off this health bar, then I think we are good. Okay. Yeah, and then he gets the additional as well. Okay. Yeah, Frieza definitely clutching up at the end here. All crits. Let's go. Okay. Alright, so I think we are good. Because, like, Boo's not going to do really any damage, which is unfortunate. He has the active skill, which, I mean, if we do this, and Daima Vegeta gets supered in slot 1, then he... I don't really want all of those orbs, but if he gets supered in slot 1, that gives him the extra attacks. So... probably best to do that rather than use the Ghost Usher with Boo, because the Ghost Usher obviously just stops like any of those abilities from proccing, because Vegeta getting hit with a super gives him an extra attack, right? And getting hit first gets him an extra attack. So if he gets hit by a super, he now gets multiple extra attacks in the turn. That gives us that opportunity to do that little bit of extra damage. So I think we should be in the clear now, because even if Goku doesn't do a huge amount of damage, we know he's going to crit. Vegeta doing some pretty good damage here. I think he has to build up crit chances, doesn't he, Daima Vegeta, because now he's consistently critting. Either that or my RNG's just swung back in the better direction for him. Because, of course, as I say that, he then doesn't crit on that additional. But Goku here, 15.7. Yeah, not exactly crazy for Goku. It's so disappointing that how this Goku, like, released and how, like, quickly aged. Like, because he's so cool. Everything about the unit is cool. Like, aesthetically, I think the standby into Oob, where it becomes, as long as you get enough orbs, basically invincible for the 1 turn. Like, I think that's really cool. But man, he just did not age well at all. So this next turn, as long as we get Rainbow Orbs for Buhan, this is going to be a real, like, what does the orb field look like turn. Because if we don't get crits with Buhan, then we probably don't win on the next turn. So it's all going to come down to, can we get a decent amount of orbs for Boo, including at least 3 rainbow orbs. I mean, he crit every attack last turn when we only got 2. So that was a 66% chance, right? So we could still be fine if he doesn't, but... okay, yeah, there's some decent... Alright, so we'll do this. Active skill for Goku. Does a bit of extra damage. It's not guaranteed crit, so... yeah, we're good. There's no way he doesn't die this turn, right? Yeah, we can get 3 rainbow orbs, 8 orbs in total. Yeah, GG. That'll be all she wrote. No Dokkan attack. I mean, I guess if you could get lucky and just constantly be hitting in orbs, you could get to the Dokkan attack. That would obviously make it much quicker. But yeah, this is turn 8, so we have to win this turn in order to get the mission done. So... there we go. 17 mil from Janemba additional. And he crits and takes him out, so there we go. So we should get the 2 missions proc at the end here, which should be for beating it with the INT team and then completing all of the missions for the EX. Because these are the this one's one of the EX missions and not the missions that are actually part of the event itself. So there you go, full INT team, but with the Daima Vegeta friend. I think having the Vegeta friend helped. Slightly higher leader skill only for the Goku, but because what's his Daima Goku's extra part of his lead? I don't know how much that applies to the rest of the team, but having the Daima Vegeta friend I think probably helped a little bit. And then, yeah, that's the last of the EX missions. Mission D, 6 int characters within 8 turns, and then complete all the missions. So there you go. That is going to be it for the video, guys. That is all the missions on the Seriously Serious event beaten. Let me know how you got on with these missions, what team builds you used, all that good stuff down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.